Hello everybody, good afternoon. It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another little rundown for you of the latest Manchester United goings on and some of the latest news in regards to Ten Hag and a bunch of other things. We're going to get into it in this show. Thank you very much for everyone who's getting in here. I've not been up long. My body clock is shagged. But I hope you guys are doing well today. Good afternoon to you. It's been a glorious day outside in the UK here. I haven't seen much of it, but it does look nice outside. So I hope you've all had a great day. Thank you very much for joining. Let's see who we got in here. Fire Up, Hero, W, Flabby G, Jack Bailey. Hello there. Vincent Bullock, Fire Up, Mix Mitchell getting in there, my son. Ruthless Sausage, Hammerhead, Woy the Boy, and everybody else as well. Thank you very much for getting in here at the start of this show. Do us a massive favour, smash that like button on it, give it a thumbs up, that helps us out. Share it around on the social media if you can as well, that will also help us out. And get yourself involved in the live chat. This is a fully interactive show. We talk to all of the legends in the live chat throughout, so get your opinions in. Seth Backrow, hello, Nathan, Sleepstar, R-Kings, Lopo, FIFA Don, and all the rest of you guys. Get yourself involved throughout the show with all the different topics we're discussing. We will be dipping in and out of the live chat, and we'll have a big Q&A at the end of the show also. But going to cover the latest sort of news and some of the latest revelations at this football club that has been underperforming, that's been subpar, that has been breaking all of our hearts, to be honest with you guys, recently. And when I say recently, I mean for years now. But certainly this season has been an absolute stinker, and we do need a change. Well, the biggest sort of revelation, at this moment in time is yesterday there was reports from the Daily Mail, of course, that Manchester United interviewed Ten Hag. It has since been confirmed by, various other sources. Of course, Fabrizio Romano tweeted out last night, Simon Stone earlier on this morning just confirming that as per other sources, yes, Manchester United did interview Erik Ten Hag, and that, various questions were asked, and just to sort of gauge the interest and see if it's the right fit. So we've got an update here as well from Fabi Romano this morning, which says, during the meeting, Erik Ten Hag wanted to hear about Manchester United budget and plans for the future. His English level has now improved. Ten Hag feels ready to try Premier League experience soon. Man United will also meet other managers. Process still ongoing. So, this is looking good, guys. It's looking good for Ten Hag at this moment in time. Look, there's other candidates that are still available. It needs to be right for all parties involved. There needs to be certain assurances made to Erik Ten Hag as well. Like he's asked about budgets and things like that. Is he going to have funds readily available to him? Is he going to be able to have certain freedoms to shape the team and sign the sort of players that he wants to sign? Is he going to have the freedom to do that? Is he going to have the final say with certain players like, I don't know, Donny van der Beek, if there's an offer that comes in from Everton in the summer, or, whatnot? He's got to have certain assurances made to him. So, in regards to what I want for this football club, I mean, as I've said many times, I want us to get going in the right direction now. We need to see progression. We need to get somebody here who is going to potentially be here in 3 or 4 or 5 years' time. Like what Klopp and Pep have done over at their teams. You need that sort of project. You need an up-and-coming manager who's got qualities, who's got abilities, who's got a philosophy, and, has got a track record of also developing talents, creating teams, styles, all that sort of thing is very, very important. Now, he's done it at Ajax. Ajax is a very good team, good standard. He's been very impressive in the Champions League. You've got to take the step up somewhere. Of course, he's not managed a club as big as Manchester United before because, well, there isn't many clubs as big as Manchester United. To get there, you've got to progress, don't you? You've got to work your way up the managerial ladder. So that's what Ten Hag has been doing. He's been turning heads. He's been impressing with his style of play in the Champions League this season, the group stage especially, and he's absolutely the number one candidate for Manchester United for who's available right now. Now, yeah, sure, if there were other managers available, like a Nagelsmann or somebody like that, maybe United would be looking at him, but the fact is he's not. And there's also other managers that we've discussed, people like maybe Zinedine Zidane, who does have a very impressive record. But again, he's supposedly not that interested in joining Manchester United. Now, United are going to look at other managers, so there's also maybe Luis Enrique's on the shortlist. But obviously, maybe a bit busy. There's a few managers, but who is leading the charge at the moment? It's definitely Erik Ten Hag. Mauricio Pochettino is also in for contention of being the new manager, I suppose, and that would be a cop out if you ask me from the Glazers there, because okay, he is actually a good manager, and his team at Tottenham. I haven't watched much of PSG this season. I've just been hearing that they've been doing gash, got knocked out of the French Cup, knocked out of the Champions League, etc. Oh, who cares if they win the league? Of course they're going to win the league, but in terms of actual style, Ten Hag's style does impress me because, well, he brings a philosophy with him. He's going to bring you this total Dutch football, bit of 4-3-3 action, something that Manchester United have got players to do right now, I think. But for some reason over the years, we've fannied around with a bunch of different sort of systems. But anyway, hopefully, you never know. I mean, in regards to Ten Hag, he has said before, it's not really about the formation. It's about the style and the approach and the philosophy and how your players are going about it, basically. So, it's not a guarantee that we go about it a certain way. But anyway, so lots of reports coming in that this is what's happening. Sky Sports or Slow Sports News reporting that United held positive talks with Erik Ten Hag on Monday, with the club hierarchy thought to be impressed with his vision and philosophy. So part of this, it's all part of the process of appointing a new guy. Ralf Rangnick is leaving in the summer into some sort of consultancy role. That's going to be advising the current board and, of course, the current manager on certain things, I suppose, in regards to signings, recruitment, who knows, different football aspects. He's come in here as a substitute teacher for this period of time, and now it's time for us to get a proper project going. No disrespect to Ralf, he's come in, he's done what he could do, really. It's not been great. But, you look at Ten Hag, somebody like that, it's a project that you can get behind for years. You're not going to expect too much too soon, but you are giving somebody who's got good abilities, who's showing good potential as a manager, the reins at one of the greatest clubs in the world with a fantastic set of players, and hopefully a bit of freedom to sign players, and hopefully that's going to take you in the right direction. It doesn't guarantee it will, but he will be judged on his performance just like anybody else. But United fans, the fan base, do need to give somebody like Ten Hag the time, because he's going to have time to get this project going in the right direction. It's not going to all change overnight. So, there you go. But anyway, so Gary Neville's been having his say. He said personally he would go with Pochettino. But Ten Hag is the massive favourite for United fans to take the club forward. That's it if it's a clear choice between the two. So there is two candidates that are clear head and shoulders above the rest. We don't know what's going on with Pochettino in the summer exactly. But it does seem like he is in the race for being Manchester United's next manager. There's also a couple of others we mentioned. There's even been mentions of bloody Brendan Todgers in the past. Don't want that either, guys. Anyway, I'll ask you the live chat really quickly. Let's just duck into the live chat really quick. I'm going to ask you guys, well, Gary Neville's just said it there. He also, let me just move that. He also asked his followers 9 hours ago here. Reports Ten Hag has been interviewed this week, and he said, actually, if formal interviews have started, and with it being such a public process, I would expect a new manager announcement within a week or so. So listen, we don't know. This could be something that happens quite quickly. I would imagine it would probably happen towards the end of at the end of the season. But Gary Neville maybe knows more than me, obviously, and he's suggesting that with it being such a public thing, maybe they will appoint him sooner rather than later. But then again, in regards to Ajax and finishing the season off there and all that kind of stuff, listen, I don't even know what's going on over there, to be honest. But there you go. So, but let's just ask the live chat. He asked his followers there, and 82% voted, including me, for Ten Hag. Pochettino receiving only 18% of the vote with over 200,000 votes. I think that's pretty clear, really. But I'll ask the live chat here just for fun. Who would you rather see come in as Manchester United manager? It doesn't have to be one of these two. But let me know who you'd like to see coming in the summer. Is it Pochettino? Is it Ten Hag? Or is it somebody else? Do get involved in the live chat really quick. I'm just going to have a quick look. Out of Vitam says Gary Neville failed as a manager, so his opinion isn't relevant. Okay, fair enough. So you're talking about one managerial job at Valencia. I mean, okay, fair enough. But I mean, he's one of the most successful defenders in the game. So I don't know about that. He does have his opinion is kind of valid, but Ten Hag says Dean, G-Wall says Hag, Ten Hag says Nikolai, Sam says Ten Hag, Defo Hag says Sleepster. Mr. Pro says, bro, am I the only one who wants Zidane still? No, I would like Zidane, but if he doesn't want us, then we don't want him. If he was seriously questioned or interviewed by Manchester United and there was a strong interest from us to have him and he's turned us down, then screw that guy. AJS, what's going on? He says Ten Hag. Mr. Blobby says Dale. Ten Hag, of course, says Jay. I'd like you to be the manager. Hey, Edward, so much, I'm sure I wouldn't have done any worse than, certain people. Gungshi says Poch is decent, but I think Ten Hag is the one to go for. I mean, Pochettino is decent. That's a great word to describe Pochettino there, Gungshi. Decent. That's all he is, really. He's a bang average melt. Listen, he's a nice guy. He's a good Glazer acquisition because he's a yes man. He's also somebody that can do it on a more of a shoestring budget, I think. If you look at what he did at Spurs, he was never really given that huge amount of money to sort of strengthen the squad massively, and yet he did develop a really great squad there, had them playing well and doing well above their expectations, really. So you got to say he is a good manager, But he's not a great manager, is he? Because if he was a great manager, I think you would have seen a little bit more success from him in terms of trophies, accolades, that kind of thing. Yeah, okay, his team was very good. Getting Spurs to a Champions League final is absolutely an amazing achievement, in all fairness. And just getting them up there competitive every single season was an achievement. But still, though, it's about winning things at this level. And all we would be doing, in my opinion, by appointing somebody like Pochettino is just accepting a mediocre gash manager again. Like, standards are seriously dropping. At least with Ten Hag, he's got serious style potential for the future as well. He's obviously not got the Premier League experience that Pochettino's got. In many ways, Pochettino's more experienced than Erik Ten Hag. Even he's managing PSG, a huge club. He's obviously done well at Spurs in the Premier League for a number of years, and previously with Southampton in the Premier League. So in terms of Premier League experience, which is very important considering we're managing in the Premier League here, Pochettino completely wallops Erik Ten Hag for experience. But it's not about that. We're looking about potential here and also stylistically what could be good for Manchester United. So for those reasons, it's Ten Hag all day long. AJS is exactly AJS. Ten Hag's an absolute bottle job. Sorry, I mean Pochettino. He said Pochettino's an absolute bottle job. I messed that up. Hopefully Ten Hag's not. Anyway, so hey, if Fergie stepped out of retirement, most def would go for him, says Edward Summer. Well, true, but even he would struggle, I think, with his current setup. CJ's bullies, old fair play lad. Interesting stuff. So Chelsea, Chelsea having some issues, mate, aren't they? It's fucking brilliant. Love to see Chelsea struggle. Love to see them go back to being that perennial sort of gash team, that occasional cup team that turns up and just sort of is there or thereabouts, but never really wins the league or anything. I would like to see that happen. Right, anyway, guys, so lots of you in the live chat, almost all of you, I would say, think that Ten Hag would be the right appointment here. So it was the Daily Mail yesterday reporting. Shout out to Chris Wheeler, by the way, who's the one that actually broke this story yesterday. But, hey, look, I personally, the Daily Mail, anyway. But, hey, look, throw enough shite at the wall, some of it's going to stick. But there you go. Hey, brilliant stuff. It's been confirmed by various different sources today. That is great news. Come on, United. Finally getting the ball in motion, or getting the wheels in motion, the ball rolling in regards to appointing a new manager, because we do need to get the change going. This season's just a complete write-off. We've discussed it many times. It's been a shite season. The whole start of the season, with all the hope and expectation going in, with Ronaldo, Sancho, Varane coming after finishing second last year, you're thinking we're going to kick on. It's all gone to shite with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the wheel, and then, of course, he's been sacked. And since then, Rangnick's coming in. It's just been the same old mediocre struggle since. This season, I don't know what it is. It's like the players just don't really feel like they're playing for much. I don't know. Maybe we see now there's a little bit of the pressure off in regards to expectation and winning trophies this season. Maybe we'll start to see this United side actually play decent football. But certainly, I can't see us really getting going in any sort of proper direction until, obviously, the new manager's coming in the summer, if that is indeed Erik Ten Hag. Now, in regards to what he's been discussing in the interview, he's reportedly asked, he wanted to know about the size of Manchester United's transfer budget for the summer during his interview with Man United. And he's discussed various different things. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano has said that during the talks, Ten Hag wanted to know how much money would be available to spend. And he also claims the Dutchman is keen to learn sort of about the plans for the future in regards to Manchester United, with the club trying to get back to the top of the table, and of course in the Premier League, and winning trophies again. So he is apparently keen on the move. 52-year-old won 2 titles and 2 KNVB Cups since arriving at Ajax in 2017, while his side are currently 2 points clear of second place PSV Eindhoven at the top of the Eredivisie table. Having been knocked out of the Champions League, Man United will have finished 4th or higher in the Premier League this season to secure a spot in next year's European Cup. So listen, this season, although I said, yes, it is a write-off season, like, the importance of what we do between now and the end of the season is still there. We have to get top 4, obviously. We've got to try and get top 4. Arsenal are looking like they're in the driving seat, but we know what they're like. They're a bunch of Billy Bottle jobs. They are the North London Bottling Company dudes. I expect them to slip up a few times. It just depends on whether United slip up a few times as well or not. And United are going to have to be pretty much more or less on it between now and the end of the season and picking up the results in those tough games, particularly against Arsenal and stuff as well, if we're going to stand a chance of getting that top 4. But for somebody like Erik Ten Hag, man, it's massive. It's massive to have Champions League football. He's playing in the Champions League every single year with Ajax. He's doing well in the Champions League. I know, obviously, Benfica have progressed, but still impressive in the group stage, doing really, really good stuff. And semi-final in previous years as well. This guy's got some pedigree there. He's going to want to continue playing the Champions League. Now, it's not going to hinge, him coming to United's not going to hinge on whether we've got Champions League football or not, but it would be nice. It would be nice because he knows what an opportunity this is to step up to Manchester United and manage this club. Ajax is a great club. Ajax is a huge club, but there's a ceiling at Ajax. There's only so far you can go really because of the limitations of the financial aspects and just that sort of thing. Like, it's just not as big a club, as big a brand, as huger setup as Manchester United is. So for those reasons, it wouldn't be difficult for us to get him. By the way, there's 100 of you legends in here. Thank you very much for joining us. Do us one massive favor, all 100 of you legends, while you're in here. Smash that like button. We're well on our way to 100 likes. Let's see if we can blitz it. Like spike. Also, hit that subscribe button if it's your first time here. We're going to be on here every day, giving you all the latest United news and all the latest goings on in a no bullshit way. So do get yourself involved if you're enjoying the stream. Drop the like, drop the subscribe, click the little bell icon, and get yourself involved. So, Let's just discuss a couple more things in regards to Ten Hag. So it's being stressed that, pretty much he is the favourable, he's the number one target for Manchester United at this moment in time, but there is still other managers that Manchester United are going to interview. We got a Ten Hag update. Hey, thank you so much for getting in here. By the way, Matty Rushmano sending me the DMs. Get in, you Don. Okay, so yes, look at this. We've got an update here. Just as I was saying here, we've got another update that suggests Erik Ten Hag is in pole position to get the new Manchester United manager job. He surpassed Mauricio Pochettino in terms of preferences with the board, apparently. Ajax are asking for about €6 million in compensation. Well, negotiable, so what, about £4 million? Ten Hag has passed a personal exam in Manchester with flying colours. Okay, so there's a little bit of a news source. Thank you very much there for getting in there, Mr. Rushmano, with the update. Really appreciate that. So yeah, in regards to Ten Hag, guys, it's looking very likely that he could be coming in. And also, Manchester Evening News today reporting that further talks are due to be held with Erik Ten Hag with Manchester United. And we're stepping up our search for the new manager over the next week or so, with this season pretty much over. So we might as well start planning for next season. But yeah, this is what the MEN say. They say that United have interviewed Ajax boss Erik Ten Hag, and we're stepping up our search for the manager over the 2-week international break, with Ten Hag speaking to officials earlier in the week, and more further talks are planned in regards to, speaking with Erik Ten Hag over the coming week as well. There's still other managers. Luis Enrique is apparently been on the shortlist as well. Very much interested from the Man United board as well in regards to Luis Enrique, Mauricio Pochettino at PSG, and Julian Lopetegui as well over at Sevilla, Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea. Listen, it does depend on what happens with Chelsea in regards to who comes in. There's talks of that businessman Candy and various other 20 different bids lodged or whatever to buy Chelsea Football Club. So somebody's going to end up with that football club, and depends what direction they're going to go taken in. But they may well stick with Thomas Tuchel. Obviously, that would be the plan. That would be the ideal for them. But if it doesn't get all resolved between now and the summer or the start of the new season, then I'm sure Thomas Tuchel might have to look at his options, and maybe he would come in on the shortlist. But in regards to just who's available, in regards to philosophy-wise, who could be a good fit for Manchester United, I do think Ten Hag makes a lot of sense. In regards to Ten Hag's contract, just to give you the lowdown on that, Ten Hag, obviously 52 years of age, his contract is at Ajax until next year. So because of that, it would command a low compensation fee, which we've just heard from Matty Rushmano is reportedly around about €6 million in order to compensate Ajax. So not a lot of money, really. And that's pretty much the latest on him. Yeah, okay, great stuff. Great stuff. He feels ready to try the Premier League experience as well, reported by Fabrizio Romano. And Fabi said that Man United have interviewed Erik Ten Hag, and they're happy with his English level as well. So that is something that's very important. You don't want another Fabio Capello situation where he's coming in to be bloody England's manager. He can't even speak a lick of the language. That's going to cause issues. I mean, we've seen it before. In fact, who remembers Mauricio Pochettino when he first arrived in Southampton? I remember his post-match interviews. They were like, yes, we play very good. There's not much going on there to begin with. And he had a translator, I'm pretty sure, at the start as well at Southampton. So, that's not ideal. It's not the end of the world because, like we said, Poch was successful at Southampton and Spurs. But in regards to, having a basic grasp of the English language, you have to say actually about the Dutch in general, the Netherlands in general, their English language, as far as a second language, is probably amongst the best in the world. Like, they speak it fantastically, just because. So, yeah, Manchester United have interviewed him, and his English levels are supposedly absolutely fine. And his English is getting better, so maybe he's been taking English lessons on the sideline as well. Hey there, Marty McFly. Nice to listen to starting at an Excel file. Staring at an Excel file, sorry, yeah. Oh, okay, well, thank you for tuning in while you're working, my son. Get in there, we'll give you the latest news. Marty McFly, how you doing? Big Dog Batchy, Jack Bailey, Dean M, Fire Up, Big God Bob, all you legends getting in here. Thank you for joining us for the afternoon show. It's actually hot today. I'm actually sweating my munt off here, guys. Crikey. It's actually warm today down here. The sun is on the window and the lights are on, so maybe that's why. But listen, that's it, guys. Growing momentum. Erik ten Hag. Come on, you know it's happening, guys. It's looking likely very soon anyway. Maybe it will be announced, as Gary Neville said, sooner rather than later, before the end of the season. I still think it's something that will get wrapped up just for the sort of what's the word? Just for Ajax mainly as well, for the respect of Ajax as well. But you never know. Maybe Man United will announce that Ten Hag will be appointed in the next week. That would be interesting. Gary Neville certainly thinks that that's possible. So yeah, that's great. That's great, guys. I'm going to ask you a question now. If Erik ten Hag's appointed as manager, how good would you feel about it on a scale of 0 to 100? How good would you feel about it on a scale of 0 to 100? Like 100 being if we just somehow managed to time travel back in time and appointed Prime Fergie, you know, or 1 being it's a David Moyes situation. You know what I mean? Like, how good do you feel about Ten Hag being the future of Manchester United on a scale of 1 to 100, guys? Just let me know in the live chat, because I'd love to know. 50 says Fire Up, so he's a bit like that. Edward Samua as well is not too sure. Randon Lewis gives it 100. Jarvis Cocker gives it a 50. Oh, Alta Vitam says 20. Oh, that's low. Hey, Rushmana, you absolute legend. What's going on, dude? Thank you very much for the updates. Thanks for getting in, you legend. Hey, we're 10 likes away from 100. Nice one, guys. Marty says 75. Peter Abate says 75. I'm going to agree with you guys, actually. Marty, Peter Abate. I'm going to go more with you guys. I can see a lot of legends getting in here with some high numbers, like 99.9 says Stephen, 90 says Ruthless. Some low numbers as well. 2.5% says John. So, fair enough. Little bit mixed. I'd feel 75% great about it. I mean, listen, there's really not that many great candidates ahead of him right now that are available for Manchester United. He doesn't necessarily have the proven track record of winning things. As we said, he's won a couple of Eredivisie, won a couple of Dutch Cups and stuff. I mean, that's great. But it's like, you might as well go and do it in the Scottish League, you know? So, it's okay, but it's a big step up to the Premier League and doing it at Manchester United. So hopefully, though, philosophy-wise, style-wise, what he could bring to the table, we need to get behind him. If he does get appointed, we need to give him time, obviously, to be able to develop the team and sign the right players and instill that philosophy. But I'm feeling like, yeah, he's a good candidate to go for. I don't think he's the ideal candidate. I don't think he's great. Like, as regards to, yes, he's definitely the man to take us to the next level. But I think out of all the ones that's available, he is the most promising. He's the one with the most potential and the one with the style that most fits Manchester United. So, listen, we talked about Zinedine Zidane having the stature, having the respect, having the ego, having the track record of winning multiple Champions Leagues in a row. But if that bastard doesn't want to come and manage us, then, you know, that's the thing. If there's other managers available as well, then we could discuss them, but they're not. Tuchel's currently at Chelsea, you know, and all the rest of them, Nagelsmann's at Bayern and all the rest of it. So you've got to go for who's available. Realistically, for who's available, Erik ten Hag is a great appointment. He actually is. He is a good appointment from who's available right now. Now, there's no Premier League experience there with him. It's a big step up. It's a big change. It's a whole different football culture, really. So it is a huge step up. Can he fly? And can he manage to, you know, to take that next step in his career? Or will he bottle it? Well, only time will tell. But I think it's somebody you've got to give time to because of his record over the last 5 years, you know, at Ajax, where he's developed the teams, developed the players, and they've always had to sell their players as well. You think about most summers, they usually losing one of their big stars. They usually lose them, and he's still got them competitive, developing, bringing them through that youth structure. You know, Ajax is a club that has a tremendous youth structure. Maybe it helps being the biggest club in the Netherlands and having the pick of all the players coming through and stuff, but just the fact that they perennially produce such fantastic talent, just that is something that we need to try and emulate at Manchester United more so, really. We don't do that as much. We seem to go out there and buy players now. Yeah, okay, we've had a few like outliers who've come through the years, like Elanga to this season, or Rashford in previous seasons, or Greenwood in previous seasons, where they have broken through. But it's just not a regular thing. I would love to see a manager who can actually give opportunities to youngsters as well and get them to perform and get them to play and develop them and give them, a place in the team for the future. So for that reason, I think he's actually a very, very good fit for Manchester United. Salute to you too, John Wayne. Welcome in, lad. Van Gaal was crazy, says Randall Lewis. My name is Louis van Gaal, and I am a Dutch legend. I like my players to be horny. He was a bit of a lunatic, wasn't he? Do you remember that interview where he's like, and you, Mr. Reporter, Mr. Fat Man? Do you remember that? Somebody said something he didn't like. He's like, well, I'm getting out of here. And then just before he leaves, he comes back and he points and goes, and you, Mr. Fat Man, or something like this is some fat bloke. He was something else, wasn't he? He was something else. Anyway, you want Erik, says Num. Nice one, Num. Yeah, Erik would be a great fit, I think, just for what we're looking for as of right now. Janice Faraklis, how you doing, mate? Great to see you, boss. How you been? He says, hello, my friend and lovely legend. Long time no see. Much love to everyone. It has been a little while. I hope you're keeping well there, Janice Faraklis. Get in there, you absolute handsome bastard. How you doing, my friend? How would you feel about Mr. Ten Hag? Martin Mason says, Ram in Detroit, he appears better than Poch. For example, it seems Man U has a lot of crap for many years to clear. I'd give it 75 too. Yeah, Martin, there you go. It's not 100% right, is it? I mean, if we felt like, I don't want to keep going back to these scummers that we're talking about here, because they are obviously but they're talented coaches for the opposition teams, which is why I don't want to praise them. But just imagine, like after Bayern, Pep's gone to City. You'd have to say, from that basis of what Pep had done at Bayern and what he'd done at Barca in particular, well, that's 100% appointment. You'd have 100% faith in that. Doesn't necessarily mean it is going to work out, but all I'm saying is you would have 100% faith in that sort of an appointment, wouldn't you? Whereas this is like a 75%er on Erik Ten Hag. I still feel like, from what we've seen from him, style-wise, he'll be very good for us. But again, there's still a risk involved because it's a huge step up and he's never managed in the Premier League. Poch is a bottle job, Bez. Hey, Rushmano getting in here raw with a £10 super chat, lad. Thank you so much, Rushmano. Get in there, my lad. Can we get a big soo in the chat there for Rushimano? Thank you, bro. He says, Ten Hag must come in soon for squad and backroom staff planning. Paul Mitchell is a must also. I thought I said Phil Mitchell for a second then. Hello, mum. Hey, Rushmano, get in there, guys. Can we get some massive soos in the chat, please? Thank you, Rushmano, lad. Yes, absolutely. There you go. Good shout, Rushmano. Why waste time in this Premier League campaign, right? Why waste time in this season? Ralf has unfortunately failed with what he was tasked to do. And it was quite tough what he was tasked to do because the clubs, the board and everything don't help out. They didn't get anybody in January and we had a gash squad in certain positions, right? But he has failed to do what he do. Why wait until the summer? I actually agree with you entirely, Rushmano. Like, it would actually be quite... due to the fact that we know that Ralf Rangnick's going into a consultancy role. You're not sacking Ralf Rangnick off completely. He's just going in to an upstairs department, right? And so, for that reason, you can make the appointment right now. You can make the change. You should do it. You should give Ten Hag the opportunity. He's out of the Champions League with Ajax as well. Okay, they are 2 points ahead of PSV Eindhoven in the Eredivisie. Maybe wants to win that trophy, but he's won it several times anyway. So, yeah, get him in. I couldn't agree more. Why wait? Why wait until the summer? Doesn't make any sense, actually. I think they might do it, depending on if he wants to stay at Ajax, leave in the best possible way, have the respect, leave with another title, etc. Maybe he will want to do that. And I can respect that. But I think from Man United's point of view, let's get this guy in. Let's get him in. Let's get him deciding now. Let's get him, utilising the squad that he's got, assessing the squad that he's got between now and the end of the season. Who do I want to play next year? And who do I want to sell in the summer? Give him the chance to work with these players, to develop some of the youth players maybe as well. Like, we should be giving youth players opportunities between now and the end of the season in certain games as well. Like, we haven't done that all that much, but we should do it between now and the end of the season, because what have we got to lose, really? So, yeah, Ten Hag, get him in now so we can actually start to progress. I think that's actually a really great point you said there, Rushmano. I hadn't really thought about it too much because, obviously, Ajax is a club that, he's been there 8 years and you think he would want to leave end of season type thing. But then again... yeah, I mean, I could see it happening, Rushmano. So, who thinks he's going to come in before the end of the season? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think that's feasibly possible, that we do announce it in like a week or something. Let me know what you guys would think. Or do you smash a 2 if you think, no, it will be in the summer? People said that about Ollie, says Duncan Shilioni. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Let them take their time looking at different candidates. Good point, Gungshi. Okay, so, yeah, it's a fair point. Listen, over the next international break, this week or two, this week or two, they're going to have a look at different candidates. The thing is, we know who the candidates are, though, Gungshi. Lots of twos coming in the live chat. Think we should appoint him in this summer. You don't trust any manager coming to United at the moment, says Jack Bailey. I personally think that in regards to who's available, we're probably going to end up appointing Erik ten Hag in the summer anyway. So why waste time why waste time? You might as well just get him in here to be able to work with these players and decide who's staying and who's going. Honestly, it does make a lot of sense. Now, Gunch, you're right, though. Look at what candidates are available. Well, we know who's available. Pochettino's going to be one of the candidates. One of the candidates on the list. I don't really want him. I'd much rather see Ten Hag appointed at this moment in time, even with Poch's Premier League experience, just because he's a bit of a melter. He's not going to get. I'm not convinced he's the man to take us to get those trophies. Whereas I think Ten Hag, given the squad, given the resources, if he can instill his style and his youth development and his squad development and his system and everything as he has at Ajax, maybe you could see us really going on to that next level. It's still a gamble. It's no guarantees. And then there's Luis Enrique. Well, Luis Enrique's busy, guys. And of course, in regards to what he's going to want to do in the future, I mean, when's his contract run out? I don't know. But of course, it's a World Cup year. It's a fucking World Cup year. So in regards to, is he available? I would say no. I would say no. I would say no. So he would be a decent candidate. So I don't know why. I personally wouldn't hang about too much, but there you go. Nice there. Rushmano says, MUTV having a debate on possible managers, Poch and Hag. I mean, what the fuck? Disrespectful in my view, says Rushmano. Are you serious, Rushmano? Are you serious? They're on MUTV debating whether the next manager is Poch or... That is a bit weird, my friend. That is a bit weird for the actual football team's channel to be just talking speculation about who's going to be the next manager. Well, from that point of view, maybe it will be a sooner rather than later thing as well. But that is kind of disrespectful, isn't it? Could you imagine? I know Ragnick's only an interim, really, and he's just come in here and he's going into a consulting role. But could you imagine any of the previous managers and they're having a debate about who to appoint as the next manager on the MUTV while the manager is on there? Are you for real, Rushmano? That's crazy, mate. Gungshi, hope you and other mods are good, says Eddie's Football Waffle. Yeah, that is disrespectful to other teams. I mean, as well, like in regards to, like you say, Pochettino at PSG. You're right. If Manchester United did that, then they would absolutely be... Sorry, if other teams did that and was discussing, let's appoint Manchester United's manager, then yes, I think you're right. I think that wouldn't go down too well either. Amy Evans says, seen that pic? That's fucking ridiculous, mate. What the hell? MUTV turning into fucking fan TV, mate. You what? Bez says, sad, crikey, man. That is strange. Hey there, Eddie's Football Waffle. What's going on, lad? Gungshi says, imagine if they still want to interview Brenda. Oh, don't, Gungshi. Hoi noi, Brian Coy there, Gungshi. I'm a beautiful man and a wonderful human being, and I'd be a great manager of Manchester United. We're a beautiful, beautiful club. Yes, no, fair enough. No, absolutely not. It's a big thumbs down for me on Brenda. I'm not interested in him. Plus, he's an ex-Liverpool scummer. They sacked him off. It's not good enough for the Liverpool scummers. We don't want their cast-offs, my son. We don't want the bin from the bin. You know what I mean? So, no, not interested in that whatsoever. Amy Evans says, Pig De Gea needs to be sold. Keep Henderson. I mean, I couldn't disagree more, Amy. I know Henderson's got a great future ahead of him, and he could be our number one. He's good enough to be our number one for the future. He's younger and stuff. But I think De Gea's been our best player this season. I think he will continue to be our best player for many years because he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He might not have the distribution or the sweeper keeper aspect of some of the best keepers in the world, but his outright shot stopping, his outright goalkeeping, in my opinion, is top notch. I wouldn't want to see him go anywhere. And listen, also there's big talks of Dean Henderson going to Newcastle for the summer anyway. We're going to get onto some transfer stuff at the end, but Newcastle probably the most likely destination for him. He's not going to stick around at United. I can't see De Gea leaving. Why would be stupid to get rid of De Gea? Yes, he's on a huge amount of money per week, but it's worth it. He saves you those points every single damn week, more or less. Like, he is a goalkeeper as well, and even if he's 40, he could probably still be a good goalkeeper. You know, people like Buffon, they go on. He's only 30. How old is De Gea? 33, 34, 33. He has got a lot of time left at the top level as in regards to a goalkeeper. We'd be fools to get rid of our best player. He's our best player. Never mind goalkeeper, outfield player. He's our best player. Over the last decade, he's our best player as well. Not just this season, but the last 10 years, he's our best player. Literally. So, nah, I disagree. Yes, that's true, Gungshi. Maybe they should line up a cheeky little interview with Don Pigliani. He would get them performing, wouldn't he? He would definitely whip them into shape, absolutely. Paul Story, hello, Paul Story. How you been, Paul Story? One of the channel member legends here. True, Paul Story. That's a good point. He says he won't leave Ajax. They're 2 points clear in the league, and he won't want to ruin his legacy with Ajax fans. That's my feeling. That's my feeling. Well, you just don't know, Paul Story. It depends on the situation, doesn't it? If United come in with the compensation package and the offer to sweeten the deal as well, and he has had a successful time over the years. He's won a bunch of stuff. Can hand over the reins, and somebody else can finish off the league and win the league. But then again, you're right. I mean, if he left and they didn't win the league, then yeah, he would become public enemy number one. So Paul Story, maybe I don't know. Listen, who knows? Who knows? Money talks and bullshit walks, you know. So we'll have to wait and see. If Manchester United really want to get this deal done, they can get it done sooner rather than later. But I agree, like, in regards to his own stance on the situation, you would think that he would want to stay to finish out the season in the Eredivisie, 2 points clear of PSV Eindhoven in the league. You would think. But it's not 100%, man. He's already been there, done that. I guess it would be strange to see him leave before the end of the season, though, yeah. Give Ajax Maguire as compensation, says Fire Up. You can't do that, mate. That's gonna ruin the deal completely. They wouldn't want that compensation. Gravenberg, great shout there, Bears. Yes, I agree, Pig. No more scummers. Let's get Ten Hag. Ashley Bailey, good shout, man. Good shout. Yes, indeed, Alexander. Let's play the youngsters between now and the end of the season. He says Hannibal and Langer and all the other youngsters under Ten Hag. Spot on. And these players can develop. He can give opportunities to players. He's got that in his locker. He's done it many times. 142 legends in here. Smash the like button. Also hit that subscribe. We're on our way to 44,000 subscribers. No, sorry. 54,000 subscribers. 54,000 subscribers, nearly. What a bunch of legends getting in here all the time with these videos. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you do leave a like to help us boost up there on the YouTube algorithm. It's free to like, and it helps us compete against the clickbait merchants, the shit charlatans, and the corporation channels, and the guff pump-out merchants. I don't really know what that means, but anyway, yeah, do us a favor, hit that like and share it around as well. Hey, Talk MU, what's going on? But he has been interviewed. There you go, Talk MU. Do you go for an interview if you don't want the job? Do you go for an interview, you know, at this stage of time if you're not going to be open to maybe a sooner rather than later deal? It's a good point you bring up there, Talk MU. He has actually been interviewed. He has talked to Manchester United in the middle of the season. That in itself is quite an indicator, I think. I mean, in itself, isn't that disrespectful to Ajax? Well, you know, yeah, I think it's nailed on as well, Talk MU. I kind of do. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. There are other managers that are going to be interviewed between now and the end of the international break, I think. And there's obviously still things that can change between now and the end of the season. Like if we were not appointing Ten Hag right now or soon, and it was going to be in the summer, then there's also some other things that can change. I don't know, Chelsea go into fucking administration and then Tuchel leaves and Pochettino sacked from PSG or whatever it may be. There's loads of different possible outcomes. Nagelsmann, you know, gets the hump at Bayern and Stone Cold Stunners the chairman and walks out. Who knows? Like, anything can happen between now and the end of the season. So it does depend on who's available. Of who's available right now, I think Ten Hag is the best option. So yeah, I'd be happy to see the guy come in. Hey, thank you, Leno Amsterdam, getting in here raw from Amsterdam, dude. Nice one. Very good, very nice. He says, good evening from Amsterdam, Piggy. If you do get our Ten Hag, United, give him time. Don't hound him out like previous managers. It's a hard job. Hey, thank you so much, Leno, getting in here from Amsterdam, you absolute bloody Dutch legend. Appreciate you. Can we get some sous in there for Leno? And I totally agree with you, my friend. He's going to need just as much time as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, at least, you know. Just as much time as Ole. Ole, I think, was afforded a little bit more time than most people because of his legend status at the club. And because he did do well to begin with at the football club as well. And I think he was given maybe a little bit more opportunities than a manager who, you know, doesn't have the link there with Manchester United. But at the same time, we need to give that amount of time to Ten Hag, absolutely. So it's a project. It's not going to come overnight. And you can see often in regards to long-term projects, often there's fruits of labour that's going in there. There's changes. There's little steps every single day towards the goal, which is an accumulation of, you know, all that you've been working for and then it all suddenly comes good. That's what I can see happening at United. It's not going to necessarily come overnight. You look at what Klopp did at Liverpool. That didn't happen overnight. He had to develop the team, he had to develop a certain style, he had to sign the right players in certain key positions, whether it's Van Dijk or Alisson or whoever, where they were lacking. Plug those holes, get the standard up there, get the squad better, and it took a long time. So that's what you have to do. You have to get behind the project. What we want, of course, is to see progression. But yeah, hey, Leno, fair play to you, my son. So would you be, I want to ask you, Leno Amsterdam, as an Ajax fan getting in here, I really, really appreciate you getting in with your super chat and having your say. I want to ask you, would you hold it against Ten Hag if he leaves mid-season? Like, would you hate Ten Hag? Would you think it was a disrespect to Ajax if he does leave in the next, say, couple of weeks? Or would you say, hey, thank you for all your work over the last few years and winning us what you've won us. Good luck. But as you, just to go on your point there, Leno, just to go on your point about it being a hard job, I actually think in regards to club management, right now, at this moment in time, with the level of opposition that's in the Premier League, the owners of the different clubs that are in the Premier League, such as, Chelsea, well, not Chelsea anymore, actually, sorry, Man City's owners, of course, and now Newcastle's got the money, Liverpool are in a really great place at this moment in time as well, because of the opposition and the standard, and we are off the standard. It's actually one of the hardest jobs in world football right now, I think. Being Manchester United manager is such a poison chalice of a job. You've got a huge expectation on you to win everything. You don't necessarily have the squad to do it because the Glazers are charlatan shithouses who don't truly have the ambition to win. And so for that reason, you're always up against it. And it's just it's a cauldron. It's a pressure cooker, man. Leno, thank you for getting in here, my friend, for that. If he gets us top 4, it will be massive with all the players leaving. There you go, Ruthless. Good point. Alta says, I assume Rangnick has advised Ten Hag, so it's not disrespectful to him, says Alta V-Town. Yep, great point. Gungshi, thank you very much for the super chat, lad. One absolute legend getting in, and thank you very much. Gungshi, he says, Pig, your dragon face were very impressive last night. Just wanted that to be noted. Thank you, Gungshi. Well, same time tonight, my son. Gungshi, get in there, you handsome bastard. Really appreciate that. And can we get a cheeky little dragon emoji in the live chat there for Don Gungshi? Thank you very much for the 670 NT super chat there, you Don. Thank you very, very much. Hey, yeah, great news, great stream, great news. Things are moving forward. Absolutely there, Uncade Squid. Absolutely, man. Right, okay, I've actually got a lot of big news to talk about here now. We're going to get onto Pogba. So the Ten Hag situation, we're going to come back to that in the Q&A at the end of this stream, but I do want to talk about the Pogba stuff because there's been some revelations in regards to Paul Pogba, and it doesn't make good Oh, by the way, just before I get onto that, actually, one last point I want to make, which is, at this moment in time, probably looking like bullshit, and I think Rio Ferdinand has come out and said as much. But there's a couple of ex-Man United legends who are being linked as maybe to be part of staff for Erik Ten Hag should he come in. One of which is Robin van Persie and also Rio Ferdinand. So apparently they're both reportedly keen to join Erik Ten Hag, but Rio Ferdinand, I think, since come out and said that it's BS. But I don't know. So just different legends being linked to maybe be Ten Hag's assistants and stuff like that. Robin van Persie, the Flying Dutchman, get him in there, my man. In fact, can we not just sign him up as our striker? Because he's probably still decent. In fact, I know he is. So anyway, compensation would be in the region of £4 million for Ten Hag. Right, let's get on to this then. But Rio Ferdinand has denied that he's put himself forward. So he literally said, who's feeding you this shit? He tweeted out at 2:19. Somebody tweeted and said, Manchester United want Erik Ten Hag's assistant to be a player. Rio Ferdinand has put himself forward. And Rio retweeted it and said, who's feeding you this shit? Put myself forward, so funny, yeah. So it's very much unlikely, very much unlikely that is the case. But there you go. Oh dear. Right, okay. Let's talk about Paul Pogba. Let's talk about the conundrum, the problem, the enigma. There's so many different words. Like, how about the mercurial talent, the World Cup winner, the world class player on his day. There's so many great. He's a mystery, isn't he? He's a mystery. I mean, he's such a great player on his day, but it just doesn't come that often. Character-wise, fibre-wise of what we need at Manchester United in regards to players who want to play for the badge and the shirt and all that sort of stuff. I think that's where he lacks. But listen, Paul Pogba has revealed that he would kind of like to join Paris St Germain, guys. See you later on, Paul Pogba, my son. I think this is just another example of just pure disrespect by Paul Pogba, man. It's so annoying. This is what he said. So this is what he said. He was asked about whether he could go to PSG in the summer on a free transfer, and he told Le Figaro, why not? It will always be nice to play with your teammates in the national team and club. You know what I mean? So he's already come out before. He could have this conversation in the summer. He could just do his business in the summer, but why even talk about it? Why not just say no comment for now? You could say, well, right now I'm happy with what we're doing at Manchester United. Right now I'm focused. This is what he should have said. Right now I'm focused on Manchester United and getting top 4. My situation in the summer will be my situation in the summer, and we will talk about it then. That is what he should have fucking said. Instead, he's coming out, this guy, and saying, oh yeah, I'd be quite happy to play for PSG, you know, I've got a lot of mates there on the national team, it'll be pucker, and I'll get paid a shitload of cash. So, yeah, I think, you know, Paul Pogba, he's got to go now. It's time to go on a free. See you later on. It's happened once before. Fergie didn't rate him. Fergie let him go on a free effectively as well. He's already done it once before. He's got a grubby agent, Mino Raiola, who wants to go and get him the most money. Manchester United should not pay him the most money that anybody can give him. PSG will pay him more money than Manchester United can, and if they want to do that, fine. But we shouldn't pay him a damn dime more than what he is being paid right now, because he's not worth it, guys. He is actually a class act, but it's only occasional. And so for that reason, he's not good. And plus, he doesn't show the respect levels that I want from a big senior player on the side. I think these comments just go to show you that his head's not even been at Manchester United for a long time. He's thinking about going to PSG at the end of his contract. Why does he never sign a new deal? Well, it's because he wants to leave on a free, get a big fat cash money deal, huge signing on bonus, move on a free, and go and play with his mateys in Paris and just play in a farmers league every single week and make a shitload of cash. And I think that's really what he's after. I don't think he's necessarily after accolades. I mean, in all fairness, he's won a lot of stuff. He's won the World Cup. But you would think a player like Paul Pogba would be striving for greatness in regards to legacy and that kind of thing. But I just don't really see it with him. Then again, if you actually look at his comments and what he said as well, he has said that, you know, he wants to win things. He wants to win things. So also, let me talk about this. So he said also in regards to his experiences with depression, and he says mental health of footballers must be discussed more. He said in football it's not acceptable, but we're not superheroes. We're only human beings, which is a fair point. Listen, I know that people go, oh, boo-hoo, Mr. Football, you get paid 400 grand a week to kick a football around and you're depressed. Oh, we've got real problems. But at the end of the day, you know, mental health's a funny old thing, guys, and it doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how much money you got, doesn't matter what your career is. If you suffer from mental health and you've got depression, then it can actually, you know, there's loads of famous people whose lives seem like they're absolutely fucking amazing, and you wake up one day and they've killed themselves, and you're like, what the fuck? You know, that happens all the time. So listen, I'm not going to make light of Paul Pogba's depression and say that myself. I'm going to say, look, you know, but at the same time, he needs to man the fuck up from a football point of view. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, that off the field stuff, I get that. People have trials and tribulations in life. Life's an absolute mess in a lot of ways, guys. You know, but you know, in terms of who is in these privileged positions, I mean, it doesn't get any more privileged than being a Premier League footballer, in my personal opinion. But then again, like I said, it's not about that. And that also brings you another level of mental issues that are not going to be there for the average person. I mean, when you go to bed at night, when you go home from work or whatever, and you've got issues or whatever, it's not nobody's going home after you've dropped a couple of jars at looking Sainsbury's stacking shelves and slagging you off on social media because you're a jar dropper. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing that. Whereas these guys, they're getting constantly hounded all the time. So listen, I get it. It must actually be very, very stressful mentally. So I'm not going to make light of that. But listen, he says he was asked about his struggle with depression. He says, completely and several times during my career. He says, I have been through it, but we don't talk about it. Sometimes you don't even know you have depression. You just want to be isolated, to be all alone. These are the unmistakable signs. From a personal perspective, that started when I was with Jose Mourinho at Manchester United. He said, Jose, the ultimate depression man, just coming in here. He did not seem to shine to Paul Pogba too much, did he? They had all those issues, and he's caused Pogba. I don't know why I'm laughing, sorry, but I just find it funny that he said it started when I was with Jose Mourinho at Manchester United. He said, you ask yourself if there is something wrong with you because you have never experienced these moments in your life. Of course, we earn a lot of money and we don't complain, really. But that does not prevent you from going through these moments in your life like the whole world, which are more difficult than others. In football, it's not acceptable, but we are not superheroes. We are only human beings. And in regards to, you know, other stuff, he said, Pogba said football is the most individual of team sports. One is judged every 3 days, but we have to be good all the time, although we have worries like everyone, whether that's with our partners, our coach, in everyday life. Of course, you will feel it in your body, your head, and you can have a month, even a year when you're not great. But you can't say it publicly anyway. Everything's inside your head. The mind controls everything, and all top athletes go through these moments, but a very few talk about it. Kylian Mbappe, when he missed his penalty against Switzerland, nobody thought about him afterwards, even though he received tons of criticism and awful things were said about him. If you are not shielded mentally, you are dead in this sport. These tests will be the making of you, but you must not let your guard down. Anyway, and he's just been going on talking. He's doing a lot of talking, guys. A lot of talking. But he also said, I don't want it to be the case that these negative moments make me forget all of my achievements. I mean, what? Okay, fair enough. He has got some big achievements, to be fair. But anyway, not at Manchester United. Okay, this is what Pogba said. He said, Deschamps also gave me a role that I know. But at Manchester United, do I really have a role? I asked the question, and I don't have the answer. What a bastard. How's he coming out and saying all this stuff while the season's still going? He shouldn't play again between now and the end of the season. Don't waste our time on this guy, guys. Don't waste our time on him. Don't allow him to put himself in the shop window for PSG. I say we just let him rot between now and the end of the season, in all fairness. So he's talking about not having a role at Manchester United, not knowing what his role is. I mean, he's had various different managers over the years. It's not like he's just come in, Donny van der Beek style, and not been played. I can understand his frustrations then. Like I said, I stood with Donny when he clearly was frustrated with not getting selected because he deserved to play. On the other hand, Pogba's been here for 6 years now, 5-6 years. He's been given loads of opportunities when he probably shouldn't a lot of the time based on form. And he's failed most of the time, or a lot of the time. And now he's got the audacity to say that he doesn't have a role in the fucking club. Well, he's been given loads of different roles in the club. In this game, you're going to be playing, next to fucking Matic, and you're going to be, you just can't do it properly. You just can't do it good enough. Maybe what he's saying is, I don't have the role that I want at Manchester United, which is the CAM, maybe where Bruno Fernandes is or something like that. But he's actually, come on, he's been given loads of different roles by loads of different managers. He's just been gashed at all of them. Yes, a bit of a waste of time, Kingslayer. I agree. Get rid. Let him go. Okay, so are you Pogba in or Pogba out at this moment in time? I know a lot of you are big fanboys of Paul Pogba. Mr. Don Gunchiglione, my brother from another mother, he rates Paul Pogba. He really, really does. And I rate him too on his day, which never comes. But, are you Pogba in or Pogba out? He's too lazy, says Alta. Pogba in, says Jack Bailey. Pogba out, says Chrissy J. What's up, Chrissy? Paul says out. Pogba says cool homies. Pogba out, says Wiggy. Yeah, I'm Pogba out, guys. I have been Pogba out for a little while, in all fairness. We can see the qualities he brings. Even those couple of games when he came back from injury recently under Rangnick, he looked really, really good. He did some fantastic things. But it's just like, he's going to go missing the next week. He's going to go missing, and his head's not in it. Also, in regards to who's available, who would be interested in taking Paul Pogba, there's a couple of teams that are interested. We know PSG is the main one that is most likely. But 2 Premier League clubs, apparently, this is on Sky Sports. It says Paul Pogba, 2 Premier League clubs in touch with Man United midfielders, contract runs down. Paul Pogba is attracting interest from Real Madrid, Barcelona, Paris St Germain, and 2 unnamed Premier League clubs. That's apparently what is being discussed there. I wonder which Premier League clubs would be interested in Paul Pogba, though. The only ones you can think of are the ones with all the money. Could you imagine if it was another Carlos Tevez situation? And Pogba ended up signing for City. Man, I couldn't live with that. Actually, I'd be happy about that because he'd probably be shit for them. Hey, thank you so much, Rosh Mono, for another £5 super chat, mate. Get in there, you handsome bastard. Really appreciate that, dude. Get in. Thank you so much, Rosh Mono. Hang on, let's read that. It's gone away for a second. Where's it gone? 126 likes, guys. Thanks very much for hitting the like button on the stream. Do keep smashing that like and subscribe if you're new to the show. Rush Mono with a £5 super chat. Thank you, Rushy. He says, wasn't there leaks about players not knowing their role in the team? Thanks, Paul. Now we know who it is. He's a massive prima donna. Get out now. Rush Mono, great comment, lad, and I echo that as well. I do. I mean, listen, he's talked too much over the years, and if it's not through him, it's through his grubby little agent, Mino Raiola. Lots of disrespect towards Manchester United over the years. I remember several seasons ago, him talking while he was in Japan in the summer. This was in the middle of his contract, talk while he was in Japan somewhere. They had interviewed him, and he said something along the lines of, I need to be winning trophies. I need to be playing for teams that are winning things, and basically insinuating that, he's not happy at United because we're not. So, yeah, stuff like that. He's always talked and he's always said some silly things in the press. And this is another example of that. Should have just kept his trap shut until the summer. If he does want to leave, fine. But should have just kept his trap shut. Now, from now on, between the end of the season, I probably wouldn't play him. I would definitely rather go with a midfield of even like Fred and McTominay. But actually, what I would do is go with a midfield of youngsters. Try and give some opportunities to some young guys or, anyone else. Hey, Mixed Mitchell lad, he says Chelsea and Newcastle. Okay, right, yeah, good shout. You think those Chelsea and Arsenal, says Alex Walker, thinks of the clubs that are interested in Pogba. Arsenal, interesting. I don't think they pay the money that Pogba wants, but they did pay a lot to Aubameyang, but then they let him go on a free. So I don't know about that, but Newcastle, hey, look, Newcastle, if they could actually realistically sign Paul Pogba, What a signing that would be for them, because, crikey, he's a World Cup winner and he is a great player. But actually, that's not the sort of player that they need right now. They don't need a player like Paul Pogba. I'm sorry to say, if I was Eddie Howe, I wouldn't be touching Paul Pogba with a shitty stick, in all fairness, because, he's proven in the Premier League to not do it for Manchester United. What makes you think he would do it for Newcastle United? Surely it would just be a big payday and even he would take his foot off the pedal even more so at Newcastle United, I would think anyway. So I wouldn't sign Paul Pogba if I was Eddie Howe. Maybe a big top club who can afford to have a sort of prima donna underperforming half the time. But but I wouldn't sign him if I was Newcastle, because they need actually some sort of proper workhorses to get them from where they are now to where they need to be. And I don't think Pogba necessarily that man. Ashley Bailey says Manchester United have done enough for Pogba and it hasn't been reciprocated. Spot on, yeah, spot on. He's never really lived up to it for this club. Dave says, should Ten Hag bring Anthony as a backup to Sancho? Hey, maybe, Dave the Game. There's a few players at Ajax I'd be interested in bringing. In fact, guys, who would you, if you could sign 2 players from Ajax, just 2 players, let's say if Ten Hag does come in, who would you like to see come in? Another interesting thing as well, if Ten Hag did come in, right, imagine that he just wanted to go and get De Jong and De Ligt and these sorts of players. I'm not saying United would give him the budget to go and do that, but you talk about great Dutch players that, he knows. And look, I'm just saying the realism or the possibility of that becoming a reality, United signing somebody like De Jong from Barca or, a different player that's previously played for Ten Hag, that's also increased. Not just players from Ajax, but players who have gone through that Ajax system and who are at different football clubs now as well. Probably also on the shortlist, Grav and Anthony, says Chrissy J. Tadic, yeah, great shout, Jack Brady. He's a good player. Anthony and Gravenberch, says Kingslayer. Yeah, Gravenberch is supposedly on the shortlist for Manchester United and has been for a while as well. Alvarez and Haller. Right, guys, let's have a look at this. So, Paul Pogba attracting plenty of interest. Guys, listen. Paul Pogba, let's not talk about him. Paul Pogba is never, in my opinion, going to do what we're going to talk about the next person who's done or has happened to the next person today. He's never going to do it. And it just goes to show you the difference in levels and players and statures and histories and careers at Manchester United, right? Wayne Rooney has entered the Premier League Hall of Fame. Come on, my son, let's get some Rooney emojis in there, some applause emojis and some fucking love hearts, my son. Come on. The Premier League has inducted Wayne Rooney and Patrick Vieira into the Premier League Hall of Fame 2022 inductees. Reported today on the 21st of March that Manchester United and Everton legend Wayne Rooney and iconic Arsenal captain Patrick Vieira are today being inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. It recognises and celebrates the exceptional skill and talent of individuals who have graced the Premier League since its inception in 1992. It is the highest individual honour awarded to players by the league. And Rooney, of course, getting in there alongside Patrick Vieira. You look at Wayne Rooney, the era that he was in. It's obviously, it's maybe overlapping, but it's after Patrick Vieira's had his career, right, in the Premier League, right, largely. And so for that reason, for him to get inducted so soon as well, just goes to show you, he is one of the greatest players of all time in a lot of ways, Wayne Rooney. Like, he really is. He unfortunately, he's not quite going to go down in the pantheon with the likes of Messi and Ronaldo. But for Manchester United, he's one of the greatest players we have ever had. He really is, because he always worked so hard for you. Yeah, he may have tapered off towards the end a little bit, but there were several years where Wayne Rooney was just absolutely unplayable for the opposition, and he worked so hard for the team. He was selfless for the team. He could get you that clutch goal. He could get you a goal. He could create for your teammates. He was brilliant. So Wayne Rooney's been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, Wayne Rooney says it was number 1, says far up. England's all-time goal scorer. Manchester United's all-time goal scorer. I mean, you don't get these accolades if you're not some player, do you? So he joins a select group of players as the second highest goal scorer in Premier League history after the inaugural inductee, Alan Shearer, having struck 208 goals in 491 appearances, which is remarkable because a lot of the time, really, he's not playing as the number 9. I remember that season after Ronaldo's gone. Was it the one after Ronaldo's gone? You remember that one where he scored a couple of headers against AC Milan in that season in the Champions League? He was just fucking brilliant. He scored like 30 goals in playing number 9. He did play number 9 a bunch of seasons for us, but he was mostly a number 10. He's mostly dropping a bit, and sometimes even playing in the central midfield, this guy. So it's actually quite a remarkable goal scoring record because he's not an out and out number 9 striker, which is just goes to show you what a player he was, what a goal scorer he was. So anyway, just wanted to mention that because he is an absolute legend. Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo says fire up. What a combo. Yeah, hey Ronnie, hey Berber, sorry, not Ronnie, Berber, what's going on there, Berber? How you doing today? Get in there, you absolute legend. Great to see you, my man. Berber, who do you want to see as your next United manager? Selfless is the word, says Martin Mason. Whether we go down or not, we should be building a shrine to him for what he's strived to achieve at Pride Park this season. Martin, mate, I think he's been fantastic as well. Like, I thought maybe when he entered management, he might struggle a little bit, because just from a personal level, he maybe doesn't seem like the most confident from a person-to-person point of view. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. But actually, what he's done at Derby is sensational, my son. I really hope he keeps him up, man. Yeah, I think he will. Rooney played like a raging bull. Spot on, Jarvis, mate. You know, always loved that clip. You know that clip where he's was it that volley against Everton, or was it against? No, it was against Newcastle, wasn't it? Yeah, where he's mouthing off to the ref. He's mouthing off to the ref, like steady on, and then he just fucking goes and bings one top bins. I love Wayne Rooney. He had attitude. That's the thing. He had pure attitude, and he was a warrior out there. Like, he was, even from when he was 16, he was getting in there, asserting his authority on full-grown men on the pitch with his physicality. Like, he was a physical player. So, yeah, I couldn't agree more. But I just wanted to say congratulations to Wayne Rooney, because if anybody deserves it, he deserves it. He has been Manchester United's arguably best player in the Premier League era. I wouldn't say he necessarily is, but he's definitely arguably our best player. And actually, you couldn't begrudge him being the number one because of the longevity that he had and the amount of goals, the fact he is the all-time leading goal scorer, etc. Like, these are things that make him right up there in the discussion. Right, just a little bit of transfer news, guys, and then I'm going to get into the live chat. I don't want to waffle on too long. Once again, drop the like and subscribe if you're new. We're going to get into for a Q&A, though. Just going to quickly breeze through some of the transfer news we've got. So, new reports from the Standard that Declan Rice would still prefer a move to Chelsea over Manchester United, despite the uncertainty over what the future holds at Stamford Bridge. So, a huge amount of money that West Ham are asking for him anyway. So, for that reason, it's probably not that likely that we get him. Whoever ends up with him is getting a really good player. But because of his interest in wanting to go with Chelsea, you know, they are still in the number one spot. But because of what's happening at Chelsea, unless they get a new owner in very, very soon, it's all wrapped up and everything's just back to normal in regards to Chelsea and the runnings of the football club, I don't see them signing anybody like that this summer. But then again, it is being talked about now. There are bids on the table, and it's going to be decided by the government and, you know, what's going on. So we'll have to wait and see. Also, Ronald Araujo has rejected Barcelona's contract proposal for the third time, as reported earlier on today. This is a centre-back that's been linked with Manchester United. And we'll have to wait and see. But apparently there's Barca offer on the table. Barcelona offered a triple to Ronald Araujo's salary, but apparently he's rejected it. But then again, we just don't know. We have to wait and see. Gavi and Araujo reject new contract offers at Barca. That's what is being reported. And also, it's also being reported that Barcelona Vice President Rafa Just has said this in regards to Ousmane Dembele. Barcelona Vice President Rafa has said that Ousmane Dembele could sign a new contract at the club. He said, if Ousmane Dembele continues to feel comfortable, we can meet his agents and he could stay. So, you know, we don't want him anyway. But he is a player that's been linked with us a long time, so I thought I'd just mention it. Also, reports coming out that Man United star Bruno Fernandes is close to signing a huge 5-year contract renewal, with contacts with agent intensifying. So, a few reports over in Portugal and various other places in the Portuguese media reporting that Bruno Fernandes is close to agreeing a new deal. We'll have to wait and see what happens in regards to that. But yeah, we do have to sign Bruno up to a new deal. I mean, he's on very little money for the sort of standard player that he is for United. But then again, he's got to do better, doesn't he? He's got to do better than he has recently, because even he has been letting us down a bit. Also, listen, guys, this is a bit of sad news. Manchester United goalkeeper Paul Woolston retires age 23. He's forced to retire from professional football. He suffered injuries, 2 operations, and a lengthy battle to get back to fitness, but has had to end his playing days. And David De Gea and Dean Henderson pay tribute to him, and have basically said that, you know, so he had to go under the knife twice in 2 months, in March and April last year. I mean, listen, I don't know too much about him. Obviously, we know of him at the club, but in regards to, he's never played for the first team or anything like that, really. But just the club's goalkeepers, De Gea and Dean Henderson, have paid tribute to him. He said, well, it's always bad when someone has to retire at a young age. I've spoken with him the other day and said to him the most important thing is life, more than football, in terms of a proper life. It was sad. I've been training with him when he was fit, and it's very sad news. I wish him all the best. He's a great lad, a great goalkeeper, and we all feel really sorry for him. That is so sad, guys. So sad. I trained with him, and he's a very good left foot. said Dean Hendo. He said, I remember as it's sad for him, for the club, but as I said before, I was speaking with him, and first of all, it's life and being in good conditions. Oh, no, sorry, that was De Gea again. So, very, very sad. Let's get some mad love hearts in for him. Yeah, you might have not heard of him, but it's still sad. You know what I mean? You know? Yeah, exactly, AR Dancer. Sad to hear a 23-year-old has to quit football. Absolutely. Who was that? Who was that? Oh, it was Adrian Doherty, wasn't it? Adrian Doherty. He had to retire. Yeah, I think, was it? Yeah. He had to he was like touted as being like one of the best of the class of 92. Dean Ashton as well, says Mix Mitchell, yeah. And Adrian Doherty, obviously, or Adrian Doherty, actually was supposed to be one of the best, most talented players from that crop of youngsters, but because he had several injury issues when he was a teenager, when he's a late teenager, and he couldn't come back from those injuries, he had to retire and stuff. And a couple of other players have had to happen. That's had to happen too as well. Once you made it to United, nothing will ever top that, says Jack Bailey. Well, nobody can ever take that away from him. You're spot on. Okay then, guys, that's pretty much it. We've covered Paul Pogba, Erik ten Hag. Those are the main stories, and everything else we've discussed there. Gary Neville picks favourite candidate for Manchester United boss. He likes Pochettino. What you been smoking on, Gazza? What you been smoking on, Gaz? Oh, also, and forgot to mention this as well about, Dybala. Paulo Dybala, understood to not be, keen to stay in Italy, and FC Barcelona has inquired about him, apparently. So, hey, look, there's a link to him. Would you take Dybala at United? I mean, he is a quality player, but there's links to him in the past. He turned us down before. I say, fuck that guy. Anyway, right, we don't need any mercenaries, but anyway. Right, guys, let's get into the live chat. Everybody, thank you so much. Shit, that's been there the whole time, is it? Damn. So, get your opinions in the live chat. Now it's time for the Q&A. There's the quotes from Paul Pogba. I forgot to put that up on the screen. He said, we have to be honest, I'm not satisfied over the last 5 years, but not at all. This year, it's dead. We will win nothing again. Whether it's with Manchester United or another club, I want to win trophies. Can you believe that shit, guys? Can you believe that shit? Can you believe that shit? So I didn't even mention this one. This disgusts me, guys. I can't. Can you believe that shit? This is a quote from Paul Pogba in his future that Fab Romano tweeted out earlier. It says, we have to be honest, I'm not satisfied over the last 5 years, but not at all. This year, it's dead. We will win nothing again, whether it was Manchester or another club. I want to win trophies, he said. What a fucking tosspot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but that's fucking disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. Is that actually a direct quote? I find it hard to believe that anybody would say that. If you're in Paul Pogba's position getting paid 350 grand a week, why wouldn't you just keep your mouth shut until you go at the end of the season, man? Anyway, we do need a replacement for Greenwood. Definitely Keshav done, saying no Dybala. Dybala is like a better Dan James 2 week for the Premier League, but I like him. Says, Dan, he's a very good player. But I'm not so sure about it. Yeah, I think you're right, Kingston. I think it would be another mistake like a Di Maria situation. Good point. Good point, lad. Right, let's get into the live chat. Get your say in there. Now's the time. Q&A time. I'm going to try and get as many of your comments read out as possible. Once again, we're only 8 likes away from 150 likes on this stream. Drop the like button if you haven't done so. Give it a cheeky little thumbs up. That will help us out loads. Please do share it around. Drop a like. It's free. And get yourself involved in the Q&A now. Let's do this. Pull your finger out then, Pogba says. Outer, exactly. The season's dead. And we've got nothing to look forward to and nothing to play for the season. Partly, and it's some of the responsibility he's got lie with Pogba as a big senior player on the team. Partly because of him also. Hey, Ice Queen Gaming, it's great to see you. How you been? No worries. She said, hey, Piggy, sorry for not being around much. My depression was getting to me. I'm feeling better now and off my antidepressant tablets. Get in there, Ice Queen Gaming. That's fantastic news. Ice Cream, no problem at all. I completely understand in regards to depression and things like that. No worries, but I'm so pleased to hear that you're on the positive. On things are getting more positive. That's brilliant. Ice Queen Gaming, can we get some love hearts in there for Ice Queen Gaming as well? Great to see you, Ice Queen. Thank you for getting in today. No, I can't, Vincent Bullock, but I will tell everyone though. You can vote for the Premier League. You can vote for it. I'm not going to put their link in there, but you can vote for the Premier League Hall of Fame inductees as well, some of the next ones, if you go to the PremierLeague.com. PremierLeague.com as well. Thank you very much there, Vinny Bullock, lad, but thank you for keeping me up to date with that. Ralph somehow finds some time to go to Barbados, says Keshav Chansung Singh. Hey there, Tom, he says Ten Hag in. Seems very popular, doesn't he? You know what I'm going to do? Sorry, Vincent, I'm not going to pin it because I wanted to do this. Sorry, I want to ask a thing here. So, next manager. And I'm just going to ask the live chat, Ten Hag. Poch. And then who else should be on this list? Who's the most realistic? I guess maybe Enrique's on the short list, right? Who else is on the short list? Like, I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? Ten Hag, Poch, Enrique. I feel like there's somebody else who was heavily linked as well, but I just can't. Oh, maybe Tuchel. Let's put Tuchel on there just for fun. Okay, next manager, guys. I'm going to ask you in the live chat, a little bit of a poll. So do have a quick vote while we do this Q&A, and we'll find out what the answers are at the end. But I've put a little poll in there so you can see, let me get rid of that so you can still see the chat. That's a bit shit, isn't it? Looks like all on there. Why does it have to be so big? Tuchel, says Alex Walker. Great. I mean, he would be not a bad option if it does go tits up at Chelsea. Housen who? Or interesting, G-Wolf. Nice lad. Nice one. Fair play. Yeah, no, so he's not got much of a mention, but stylistically he's done very well at Southampton, and I don't think it's the right guy. I mean, there's a couple of Premier League managers. If you want players who've shown good experience and good qualities in the Premier League, people like even Graham Potter. But these guys are just, it's just a big step up to Manchester United. Ajax is a much closer step to Manchester United, playing in the Champions League and winning trophies and this sort of thing. It's a much bigger step, a much closer step, I should say, to Manchester United than it is from going from somewhere like Southampton or Brighton or someone like that. Cool homie, says Ten Hag. Kieran McClatchy, what's going on there, Kieran? Mickey Mouse is on the short list, says Vincent Bullock. Probably, mate. There's lots of, if Brendan Rodgers is on there, maybe Mickey and Minnie are on there too. For me, Poch would be the best choice, says AR Dan. Fair play. Well, Poch would not be a bad appointment. I think he's a good manager. I just not convinced that he would be the man to take us to, Premier League titles and things. But he would be a good manager. He's a good manager. People slag him off. But he is a good manager. But he's not a great manager. That's the difference. And I think he's got to the point where he's shown himself enough to be not a great manager. Sam Allardyce, says Rushmano. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. We could do worse than Big Sam. Yes. Yeah, hey, Mix Mitchell as well. Much love, man. He says, thanks for speaking out, Ice Cream Gaming. I've been suffering this year too. And just had a month off during this time. I found and fell in love with Piggy. Even as a non-United fan, his charisma is top. Oh, thank you, Mitchell, man. I'm sorry to hear you've been struggling with some mental issues as well. I mean, I think everybody does. That's the thing with being a human being. At some point, and Paul Pogba's right in that sense from the comments he made earlier, at some point, things are going to happen in your life, or, just for whatever reason, you get in these existential funks or whatever it may be, and it's about getting out of that and progressing, and so I totally agree with you, Mitchell lad, and sorry to hear you've been going through some things as well. Let's get some love hearts in there for Mitchell and anybody else who's suffers with depression, anything like that. Let's get some love hearts in there for that, because it is a topic that is not discussed enough, really. It is not discussed enough because, well, people don't like talking about it, do they? No, I don't. But it's something that should be discussed. People's Gaming, hello, says Ten Hag. Henrik Kelman says Ten Hag. Ancelotti says Berber. Berber getting in there raw with a Carlo Ancelotti pick. Fair play. He loves the Chelsea scummer. Well, that's no surprise, having seen your FIFA Ultimate Team full of City, Chelsea, and Liverpool scummers, Berber. Pig, you're forgetting about Ruud van Nistelrooy. Apparently is going into managing now, says Vincent Bullock. Is he? Who's he going to manage then, Vincent? Mikato, thank you so much for being a member of this channel. He's got a highlighted member comment in there. Mikato's been a member for 7 months, lad. Hey, he says more hearts for Ice Queen, everyone. Yes, please. Let's get some love hearts in there for Ice Queen, Mitchell, Gungshi, everybody in the live chat. Like Gungshi says here, nice to hear some good news for someone else with depression. Hope you continue to do well. Yes, Gungshi, get some love hearts in there for him as well. And let's life ain't nothing gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning's done. Shout out to Rocky Balboa. No, I don't play Fortnite out of Vitam. What do I take? What do you take me for? Do I look about 11 to you, bro? I'm 34, mate. Van Nistelrooy will coach PSV, says that's a baby's game. Hey, you, Adrian. Get in there, you legends. Right, I'm just going to stick around for a couple more minutes, so have your final say, guys. We have been on here for a long time, actually. The time has flown by. Thanks to everyone for joining. We're 3 likes off of 150. We can hit it. Smash the like. Let's get to 150. Hit that sub up if new, and have your say. You only need to be subscribed for 1 minute to chat in the live chat. So if you have happened to stumble across this for the first time, then get yourselves in there. Oh, Ice Queen Gaming. Yes, I know. It's depression is absolutely... It's tough to get over with time and positive steps, and It can get a lot better. It can get a lot better. FIFA later. Yes, Gunch will be doing FIFA tonight. Also, I may well jump on at 9-ish, 9:30, depending on if there's any updates or any, revelations in regards to United news. If we hear anything more in maybe the Ten Hag situation or just in regards to anything else, if there's anything newsworthy, I will jump on and do a United news video. But you know me, guys, I'm not one to, fabricate shite. So if there's not that much going on, if I've talked about it all already in this vid, then chances are it'll just be the FIFA vid tonight. But again, as I say, if there is some news, if there is something important that's on here that needs to be talked about, then I'll get on and talk about it, guys. Keshav Chandan Singh, Pig, the fourth candidate is Julian Lopetegui. Oh yeah, I should have put him on there as well. I'm actually going to end that poll now because it's a pointless poll. There's 70 votes. Look at the poll. 90% want Ten Hag. Poch has only got 1% of the vote. 7% Tuchel, though. So it's very clear. It's very clear what the live chat and what the fan base wants. Nearly everybody would be quite happy to see Ten Hag appointed. I guess it's because of, well, stylistically what he's done at Ajax and, of course, the impressive run that they had in the group stage this year, but also getting to the semi-finals in the Champions League previously with Ajax, very impressive. Look, he's got a ceiling at Ajax. He can only reach so far, but you can see there's potential there. Ten Hag update, says Rushmana. Let's take a look at this, lad. Update. Oh, okay. So we got an update. Manchester United talks. This is we're very positive. United hierarchy. We're impressed with his vision and philosophy. Excellent stuff. Get in there, my son. Absolutely beautiful to hear. Ten Hag has won, says Keshav Tandang, saying, yeah, look at that. I'm going to end the poll because it's basically exercising is one of the best things. That's true, Jack Bailey. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Big Old Bob blocked Paris Airport and Channel Tunnel. Poch the flop might try to come to United. Absolutely, Jarvis Cocker. Depression is normal. I couldn't agree more. Everybody gets depressed from time to time. I mean, depression it can be caused by things that happen in your life, such as passing of a loved one. Anybody who's gone through that, I've experienced that for a couple of times. Whether it's my grandma passed away, she lived with us for the last part of her life for 7 years. So very close to my grandma. She passed away. That was very sad, very depressed after that. Obviously, my dad passed away a couple of years ago. Stuff like that. Things are going to happen in life which make you depressed and make you sad. And, and it's very difficult to deal with these things. And also, you might not even have anything like that happen. Like some people just, sometimes you can get depressed about your situation, your state, your job, your career, your life, your relationship, if you're in a toxic one or maybe you're not in one and you want one or whatever it may be. You can get depressed about a lot of things. The important thing is to remember that no situation is finite. No situation is final. Like we're on a line and things can be changed. And things can get better with time. So anybody out there who is experiencing any issues with depression, just know that even if you're at the lowest of lows right now, in the future you could be much better. You could be on a high in a year's time. You might think you never get to be happy again, but actually, trust me, you can. Anyway, we're gonna leave it there, guys. We got a little bit deep at the end. We're gonna leave it there. It's a Man United news video, but hey. It needs to be talked about, my friend. Get those love hearts in there for everybody in the live chat. K-Wars, much love to you as well, man. Yes, that's true, Admiral Dad. Fair enough. Well, everybody's got different sort of physiological setups and all that sort of stuff as well. Sometimes it's just a chemical thing. Honestly, like sometimes it can be a chemical thing, as stupid as it sounds. Everybody's different. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Please do come back and comment on the video after it's finished with your points that you want to make about Ten Hag or Pogba or anything we've discussed in this video. It doesn't have to end there. Come back and keep the debate going in the not live chat after it's finished. Please do come back and have your say with a cheeky little comment. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe and all that stuff. Follow us on social media at Flying Pig United on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Thank you, Gungshi. You know, you're a great man as well, Gungshi. Thank you so much. James Dean, much love. 0 Degrees, Flabby, Ice Queen Gaming, G Wolf, Ashley, Mitchell, Henrik, Martin, Rushmano, AR Dan, Elliot Manduna, Vincent. Hey, we hit 150 likes. Get in there, everyone. And Rushmano says, subscribe to the channel. Yes, if you're new, drop that sub up and we'll keep you up to date with all the latest United news. But that's it from me, guys. I'll see you very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in. As I say, keep a lookout. Click the bell icon so you get a notification if we do go live later. If there is United news tonight, we'll jump on and give it you. And if not, we'll be doing the FIFA later on tonight around about 11:30, somewhere around there. But I will give you all the latest breaking United news as and when it happens and give you an update later if it's needed. Goodbye, guys. See you in a bit. Take it easy. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And I'll see you on the next one. And fucking come on, United! Soon!